Hey guys, welcome to Duskers update number 9, Game of Drones. I call it that because I'm a giant nerd, and because this update really focused on the drones. New models, new names, new modifications, all that good stuff. Keep in mind that the update has over 100 new changes in it, so while I'll go over a couple of them in the video, take a quick peek at the release notes on either the Steam forums or on the subreddit, or just dive in and play. So I promised drones, and here they are. We've got 2 new drone models, each with their own unique views, and now you can actually rename your drones. For those of you that feel the drone's given name isn't good enough, feel free to name them after your favorite Game of Thrones characters, seeing as they're probably going to die. We've also tweaked a lot of the drone upgrades to try to make them feel more balanced, based on your feedback. Things like forcing the teleporter to take 2 seconds to recharge so that you can't just bounce from room to room instantly. We've also added a magnetic modification to a lot of the droppable items. So by default, now they'll get sucked out of airlocks. But with the magnetic mod, they'll hang around. Stealth was also a little overpowered because you wouldn't collide with enemies, and now that we've added enemy collisions, it makes it a lot trickier to try to maneuver around in small rooms and corridors. Basically, try not to let Arya bump into enemies while she's stealthed. But to show that we're not totally heartless, we've now made it so the patrol bots drop some random amount of scrap when they die. To this point, the game has never encouraged killing an enemy, but I feel this was interesting because it creates an alternative strategy, so that maybe you don't want to send enemies tumbling out into space before knowing what they are. Some players were also getting a little bit turned around on various derelicts, as if it was the House of the Undying. So we've added a flag command that allows you to mark off rooms on the schematic. We've also made the outline that we trace around the schematic as you explore more obvious. We've also added a few ways to combat radiation. There's a new mod to the Ship Surveyor that shows which rooms are likely to flood with radiation. We've also added a mod to the shield that allows it to not be damaged by radiation. And while initially this was thought to be a little bit overpowered, we've added a few balances to protect against that, but I don't want to give away what they are. Finally, we reduced the amount of damage per second that radiation does to a drone. We did this to encourage some more daring strategies, like going into King's Landing and trying to rescue Sansa, or even rushing drones into that irradiated room that has the final transporter signal. Speaking of final transporter signal, outposts now have more signals in general that they'll receive, especially based on the size of the outpost. Not only that, we now warn you on each of the last 5 transporter signals you receive on an outpost, giving you plenty of notice that winter is coming. We also added the ability to turn scrap into jump fuel, but only at trading posts. That way, if you keep one close and you run out of jump fuel, you can always scrap a drone or some upgrades to get one final jump. We've also continued to add a bunch of options to the difficulty menu, everything from breaking upgrades and scrap, to forcing you to confirm every time you go to open up an airlock. I think there's a reference there with your drone falling from the sky cell or something like that, but I just can't put my finger on it. Finally, for you YouTubers and streamers out there, we fixed some problems that we were having with Fraps and OBS and a bunch of the recorders. So hopefully all the recordings work a lot smoother now. So if you want to start playing and giving us feedback, go to our site, snag a Steam key for the alpha, hop on the forums or our subreddit and give us some feedback. As always, thanks for watching.